So here we are starting the game. So this is in the scene view. So generates the map. You see the enemy moving around looking for the player. So clicking on the enemy, we can see he has a line of sight to the player. He is navigating the nav mesh after locating the ball, aiming and throwing from an optimal distance. Pause it real quick. So see, we have the aiming point that is adding a slight randomization to it. Basically, with the positioning, we have desired throw distance, the throw distance tolerance. So, how much or how, plus or minus whatever that is to the throw distance. That strafe offset distance. And reposition refresh interval, so how quickly he's looking for a new position. So here we see the positioning is asking him to move to this spot, like kind of behind the block, and he has line of sight to the player. So he moves to that location, aims and throws. I guess he missed. But they can move up onto ramps and higher obstacles using the nav mesh. We also have some other things in here for the enemy: stopping distance, ball search interval, repath interval. So this is in the event that there's no balls within a reachable, or that whatever one he's looking for he can't reach. So assuming there's an obstacle blocking him and he's just trying to drive straight to that ball, if he's stopped, he'll then reposition to look for another ball. Pickup range, so this is basically how close he needs to be to pick it up. Throwing force, so it's kind of a constant right now. The player has a charge for his ball throw. This one just uses a static. We could probably fix that. How long he aims for, so this is half a second basically. Throw cooldown, so he can't just rapid fire if he has multiple balls in his vicinity. Aim accuracy, so this is kind of what causes this to move around, is that accuracy kind of allows it for a little bit of randomization, so he doesn't always hit you. And prediction, so this is kind of predicting if player is moving. He'll predict the direction that you're moving. They can also dodge, so there's a chance that he will dodge into one direction, or left or right. Basically how close he needs to be to dodge. So 15, I don't know what the distance is, 15. How basically how long the dodge is, and how fast he moves. So 13 when the standard move speed is I don't remember what the current move speed is, but 11 is more than the standard. How fast he can, or how often he can dodge, so 1 every second. There's a 10% chance that he dodges. And then I have a draw debug. So in the game view, this is the debug, so I can see what the enemy is doing. So scene to scene, see, picked up a ball. I can see that he's not dodging. He is moving towards the target, so his current state is repositioning. So if I play that, repositioning, and aiming, throwing, and moving. So you can see he does dodge when he is within line of sight of the player. So right now the ball and the aim point, or the hold point and the aim point, are the same spot. So that is where he is aiming from, and where the ball is being held. Nav mesh, so just how he's tracking or how he's moving within the space here. If we look at some other things, we have for the player, kind of the same thing. We just have a basic character controller instead of that nav mesh agent. Round actor, this is basically determining whether it's the player or not, so who it is. Kind of similar stuff to the other one. So camera, hold point, the resources that controls the focus, stamina, and charge. Bullet time controller, this controls bullet time. So that's all within there. Walk speed, so 8, sprint speed 12, acceleration, deceleration, so how fast you get up to speed, how fast you lose your speed. Air control multiplier, so this is kind of when you're in the air, you still have some control over your movement. It's not like you lose control once you jump. Jump height, obvious. Gravity, obvious. Look sensitivity, obvious. Max look angle, this obvious. How far you can look up and down. Move scale, this is during bullet time, so everything does get slowed during bullet time, but the player movement isn't affected equally during bullet time. The player does move a little bit faster. This allows you to still kind of reposition if you're dodging out of the way of a ball or trying to line up a shot or anything. And the look scale, how fast your mouse movement works. It still feels like it's normal, so I don't know if this is actually currently doing anything. It does feel, I can even, well, yeah, dodge. Double tapping, A or D, lets you dodge left or right at the expense of stamina. This increases, that speed faster than a sprint left or right, so it's just like a quick burst. How long that sprint is, how long that dodge is, how fast or how often you can dodge, for every basically half second. The cost to stamina, 18. Variable, we can change that to whatever it needs to be. And the dodge tap window, how fast you have to tap the keys for it to activate. Then we have sprint, the stamina drain, jump, stamina drain, minimum throw, stamina drain. So this is what I'm talking about, charge. So if you just click the mouse, it'll throw the ball at a 8 stamina. If you hold down the button, it'll charge up to a max of 30 for a full charge. Ball interaction, range, pickup radius, min and max throw force, and throw charge time, how long it takes to get from a 0 to 100% charge throw. Some other things, so just as a VFX, this is just kind of something I'm still working on, is the perception of moving fast while sprinting. Not currently working as well as I'd like. And then God mode, so this is for debugging purposes. We can turn on God mode, and that allows for flying around, and it allows for me to not be eliminated once the enemy throws the ball. It also causes some weird issues where the AI doesn't want to throw the ball when I'm flying, but regardless. And he will. I've also added outside of the range some kill boxes, so if things hit it, it just despawns. So even the player, well, I won't because I'm in God mode, but if I turn it off, there's one below, and it just resets the round. So here, whoops. If we go back to the scene, the kill box, so we have the floor down below, and then the arena. This is some extra kill boxes, so the walls and another floor. So between those, we have the kill box, pretty well defined. This bigger one is in case the ball flies out past the walls. Hopefully it'll hit those, otherwise it's gone forever. Yeah, that's pretty much where the development is in this spot. We have, as you saw, there is some HUD elements that I'm working on. you know, we have the scoreboard at the top, so this is persistent across rounds until my idea is that until either a score limit is set prior to the game starting, so you know, best of 5 or whatever, and then round timer, so a minute 30 right now. We can increase, decrease that, doesn't really matter. And then I'm gonna change the look of the stamina, focus, and charge to not be so obstructive right in the middle of the screen. I kind of want it closer to the crosshair and a little bit smaller, more of a minimal looking HUD view, basically so that it's in the middle for you to look at, but not so obtrusive that you can't see what's going on. This also is the debug for the enemy. We can turn that off. This is what it will look like, you know, during actual gameplay. So that's a dodge right there. If I hit A or D, double tap, little dodge. Pretty cool during bullet time. You can quickly get out of the way. That was never going to hit me anyways. While I'm sprinting, you can kind of see those particle effects, especially if I'm just standing still here. You can see the particle effects kind of flying on the screen. That's what I was working on for the speed lines, but it isn't perfect. Stamina doesn't recharge while you're charging while you're holding a ball and charging it. So it will charge if you're holding it, but if you're charging it, it will not. So my stamina will stay drained while I'm holding a charged ball. One other thing, let's see. Oh, if you have a fully charged ball but you don't want to throw it, you can press 1 and that will release the charge. Also, dodging releases your charge. So if you have a fully charged ball, you go to dodge, you won't be able to throw until you charge it again. Some animations will definitely help clean up a lot of this game. So, you know, aiming or charging for a throw, the ball should move kind of backwards as if you were lining up a shot. Movement, a little bit of bob, I think, head bob for the player model will be kind of cool. Again, those speed lines when you're sprinting to indicate some speed. That was a good throw. I think working on the pickup mechanic is something that I kind of need to do. It can get a little kind of weird when you're running around trying to pick things up. Sometimes you miss. Maybe a bigger pickup range will be necessary. You can see that you can kind of, oh, you got me. You can kind of rush the enemy and prevent him from throwing. He doesn't like to throw from so close because of that optimal distance. So I think in this case, a feature that I'll have to add would be like a tag mechanic where you can maybe, I don't know, tag the enemy if you get close enough, or they can tag you if you get too close. That way, it's not like you can't just rush up and prevent them from hitting you. Because right now you can 100% prevent them from throwing the ball. Smaller things, clipping, wall clipping. You can get your camera inside the wall. Don't like that. The ball can go inside the wall, and it causes strange behavior if you throw and it's inside the wall. It immediately just kind of gets ejected. So that's something that, and I guess it gets stuck inside of objects occasionally. Yeah, that's kind of where we're sitting at with this right now. It's in a good prototype test stage. Right now it's doing a lot of polish for some of those simpler mechanics. Next, I'd like to add a main menu and convert some of those game settings that were in the scene. Convert some of the settings for the player and for the enemy. Set these inside of a settings menu so that you can kind of customize the game prior to or during gameplay. Probably prior to, kind of like a server sort of settings. So you can say, hey, I want to play a game to 10 and I want the enemy to have a higher difficulty. Something like that. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'd say that this is prototype version 0.2 right now. I think 0.1 was... Oh, here's a good example of a strange instance. So in this case, the enemy is kind of blocked in by 3 blocks. This is a case where I haven't fully implemented a way for the enemy to escape. The enemy can't jump right now. They can walk up ramps, but they can't jump. So walking up ramps is a feature that the enemy jumping is a feature that I'll have to add in the future. So then this wouldn't be a block for him. Yeah, it's very interesting that this happens. I mean, I could, not like this is. Whoop. Not like this matters. Yeah. Anyways, that's where we're at.